Hey, what is up, everyone? It's Odin here, um, conquering another page, as it were. Um, Trying to, anyway. I wanted to make a video documenting where I'm at. Uh, so, this is where I'm at today, anyway. I'm not feeling 100%. I'm feeling under the weather. I don't know if it's the dreaded bat sickness. I don't know, or Tom Hanks disease, as I called it one. I think he was the first celebrity to come out and say he had it. It's the thing that's been plaguing humanity in many ways for the past couple of years. The main topic of conversation for a long time until Ukraine and Russia. Yeah, or presidential elections. Other things have come up. Everyone talking about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. I don't even give a shit about that stuff. That pun will never not work. So I retweeted it. It was Mike Barron tweeted a picture of Amber Heard's face and a quotation from her, even though it probably wasn't a real quotation, but it said, "I was the only one in this relationship who actually gave a shit." So I've heard that story. I try to avoid stupid stuff like that. But anyway, I'm not feeling 100. Um, what had happened too was today I took the day off of work, and a good friend of mine and coworker, him and I went fishing, and that's always fun. We didn't catch anything, which sucks. That's never fun. But there is an old saying that a good day of fishing is better than a bad day at work. That's what they say. And I think that's pretty true. It depends on what you do. I guess if you're like a fisherman, that's your livelihood. A bad day of fishing is a bad day at work, so it equals out. But yeah, we went out there on a boat all day long. On his boat, nice aluminum, nothing fancy, but yeah, and he's a good fisherman. He had every trick in the book, and we just couldn't bring him in. We were bass fishing, and we had bass. We saw some in one particular weedy area, or actually, no, it was by a dock. Just monsters, and tried everything we could. We saw them there, and they just weren't. They weren't attacking. I think it's a little early in the season. Still a little cold, because it was kind of cold in the morning, but it warmed up in the afternoon. And I got a little bit of a sunburn. So I don't know if you could see it. I messed with my camera settings. So I changed the lighting a little bit. And 80s made consumer was telling me that it looked cool, which that's great. But I messed with some of the settings on the actual camera, and now they won't go back. I can't find how they ever were. There's a button that says go back to default, and it never seems the same. So it kind of looks like VHS, like 80s VHS or something, which I kind of like, but yeah, it's different. But I got sunburned today. You can kind of see it on my hand here. My hands got sunburned. The parts of me that were exposed to the sun. You know which parts those are. Those parts that were exposed. I was actually kind of covered up, but my face, you can't really tell because of the lighting and camera. But my neck, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, just like one of them old redneck boys. So, not here or here so much, but right here. Tommy Boy reference. But that's I was wearing a hat, so that's why my head's not red where it's short. But anyway, had the day of fishing. I said didn't catch anything. Took the day off work. We were there all day, didn't catch anything. And then when I was getting off the boat, I don't know if you see that, sliced my thumb somehow. And I was just like, I didn't feel it. There's just like gushing blood, and it's one of those things where you just got looked down and you got blood all over yourself, and you're like, holy shit, oh man. But it was a pretty good gash, so then I had to tape that up, and then driving home, I was starting to feel a little off. But I had beers on the boat, got a bit of sun, so I was like, that's probably what it is. Um, but then when I walked into my house, I just found my bed and just disappeared into it, into another dimension, teleported. That afternoon nap that just teleports you to a whole nother time and space, and you wake up from these intense afternoon nap dreams that, yeah, they like teleport you to another dimension, and then you wake up and you're like, who am I? Where did I go? Whose house is this? What am I doing? Yeah, and I mean the dreams were intense. I can't remember it, but yeah, that was just. But I woke up and I went, okay, you weren't feeling good. That's why you passed out hard. And then you woke up. When you wake up from those naps, you're kind of fuzzy headed. Woke up, I was still fuzzy headed, still am. That part hasn't gone away. So that's why I think it's the dreaded thing, because last time I had it, I've had it a couple times now, but I remember that feeling, just kind of like out of it, fuzzy headed. And so, yeah, that was my day. And I'm not feeling 100. I mean, I'm probably talking fine, or I feel like I'm talking fine, but I can feel this kind of like, I'm tired again. So, but I wanted to make a video because I've made some new friends that are very chatty and talkative in a textual communication, and I'm not anyway. But I was fishing all day, and then now I'm not feeling 100, and they go, well, you can still text and stuff, but I get super irritable. Like, this isn't that bad, but I get super irritable when I'm not feeling well. And when I'm not 100, so I'm also an introvert, and so I can be social, and sometimes very social, but there's a threshold. And any introvert knows this. When you hit that threshold, I'm like instantly a dick. I'm instantly an asshole to people, and they're like, "Where'd you come? Why'd you turn into an asshole?" And then I don't explain to them. I'm like, "I hit the threshold. I can't do this anymore. I'm done. Stick a fork in me. Put me away. I'm done. I got to sleep it off and get back to normal." But I'm that way with textual conversations too. It takes energy, expended energy, social energy, even textual. Oh man, I still feel it. So people who've been on boats all day know this, unless you get used to it and you do it all the time. But like, and I didn't feel it when I got off the boat at first. It wasn't until I got home. But there's that part in you that's always kind of like at sea, You're just still rocking like you're on a boat, because you get in there, you got your sea legs, and always keeping your balance as the waves are hitting. Someone hits a wake, and you're like, whoa. Then you get off the boat, and you're like, you're still. So even after that nap and everything, I'm still kind of like, there's still part of me out there, just rocking on the boat. So, and that could be coupled with not feeling well, but that's it. Probably gonna draw like. And I think the other reason I get irritable I get extra irritable when I'm not feeling well. So that threshold I was talking about, it just disappears. There's no threshold. It's always above the threshold when I'm not feeling well. So like past relationships that I've had, like ex-wife, women I've lived with, they always want to take care of me, which is beautiful. It's nice, But I've told every girl I've been with, I'm like, no, just leave me alone. Put a lock on the door. If you hear a noise, don't bother. I'm fine. If we pass each other in the hallway, give me a wide berth. Stand back. I'm just cranky, And I think part of it is being mad that I'm not feeling well, that I can't do the things I want to do. Because even drawing right now, I'm like, I don't know. I don't have the same motivation, energy to do it. So when I was a kid, and maybe I'll do this, I'll probably do something different, but when I was a kid and I get sick, it was the same routine every time. Stay home, and as a kid you kind of eat it up. You're like, I'm sick. But I would watch the Star Wars trilogy, the original Star Wars trilogy, every time. That was my favorite thing. That was my go-to, because it kind of like fills up your whole day, and you're like, I'm not doing anything. And yeah, so I don't think I'll do that. If I watch anything, I'll probably watch this I pulled out of my collection that I kind of wanted to watch again. The old live action Tick with Patrick Warburton, which I can watch that over and over and I don't get tired of it. Or maybe I'll watch that Creepshow show, which was actually pretty good, the new anthology Creepshow series. Some of them weren't the greatest, but for the most part, really fun, really cool. Some of them were funny, some of them were scary. I mean, none of them were like scary, but Creepshow never was, and any of the anthologies never really were, but it was fun, and it felt like the old ones, so I may watch that. Try to draw a little bit more. So I don't know how the other guys do it, like, especially now, not feeling well. I haven't drawn on this at all since I've sat here. I drew a little bit before. But guys who do those drawing live streams, I'm like, how do they do that? I'm just not a multitasker. I'm surprised I can walk down the street chewing my gum. But, yeah, it's just like, I can't do two at once. I can't talk and draw at the same time. If I'm drawing, I have to shut up. If I'm not shut up, I don't think I can draw. So, something I'll need to work on, because I think they're fun. I mean, I think it would be fun to actually see more actual drawing while I talk, but right now I just don't. I'm just feeling that. But that said, I just wanted to. It was mostly a video to let people know that if it is the dreaded bat illness, that does not turn you into Batman, oddly enough. But Tom Hanks disease. If it is that, I might be a little laid up, and just letting people know I'm not social at all when I'm not feeling well. So it's not personal. I'm not avoiding people. I mean, I am, but not because I don't like you or something. Just because that's where I go when I'm not feeling well. I just ride out the storm as solo as possible and want people to leave me alone. So, but this, oddly enough, doesn't bother me, because it's just me talking to myself, and then I'll post it and everybody will go, oh, you seem to be fine. I'm like, yeah, but I'm tired. I'm not feeling well. So, all that to say, I'm going to wrap this up. And I do hope anybody who watches this, as always, that you're pure awesome, that you're doing much better than I am right now, that you're feeling much better, and that that you're pure awesome. My mind's trailing now. I'm like, bed, that does sound good. So all that said, this is Odin. I hope you're all doing awesome. See ya.